Hi, John Toole here. In the summertime, when we're dealing with canopy management, one of the biggest things that we're looking for in high cordon vines is good shoot positioning. Now, the good shoot positioning started with their pruning early in the season, and when you have a nice vine's growth habit that naturally is open, like such as this vine, the shoot positioning really isn't too much to do. Basically, all of these shoots have their own space to grow in. You've got some nice shoots cascading down. You've got a few shoots that are going upright, but in general, most of the fruit is well exposed. So this is a nice vine where we don't have to do a lot of work to its canopy management or to its shoot positioning. This is the kind of effect that you can be expecting. You've got fairly nice open growth. There's not too much overlap in the shoots because they've all been allotted the proper amount of space up front. But there is a little bit of positioning that can still go on because some of these shoots are crawling along each other, and it doesn't take too much to comb them down and make them have their own realm of space. So a little bit of positioning that might need to go on with this vine would look something like that. Some of these shoots that are up here, we might want to comb them down so that they're not shading each other. But in general, there's not a lot of shade from one shoot to another going on at this point. Maybe this one can come back like this. Of course, these tendrils are sticking a little bit. But basically the effect is you want each shoot to cascade down from its point of origin here. Should basically be going straight down to the ground on these high cordon vines. One thing to realize about canopy management is that determining whether you use cordons or canes for your fruiting, that can make a big impact on how open your canopy is. In this particular case, this was a cane this spring, a fresh cane laid down, and it starts way back here. But there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10 or 12 nodes on this particular cane. And as you can see, the shoots are spaced out really nicely along this cane, such that they're spaced every 3 or 4 inches apart, roughly. And therefore, the clusters are then that much more automatically exposed on these canes. All there really needs to be done is a little bit of leaf removal to get the fruit exposed. But as far as combing the shoots down and all that, it had done it by itself naturally, because that's just the nature of the way the cane produces shoots. If you have a cordon, the cordons can get older over time and have lots of positions where the buds pop out, and it can get quite a bit more of a mess. So just realize that if you are in that messy situation, canes might be an option for you, but not every year are canes a good option as far as pruning. Sometimes the canes are not as hardy, and so cordons would win out in that situation. Also, canes really cannot be much longer than 12 nodes, and for that reason, your vine is sort of limited to a cane this way and a cane that way, which puts it at about 24, 26 buds total for the vine. A lot of vines need more buds than that to be able to be balanced properly. So in that case, you're forced to go with cordons at that point so that you can fit more buds on your vine. The timing of this is sort of critical. You don't want to be moving on this job too early in the season. So when the bloom is going on, that's about when these shoots are the most tender. At this point now, we're about a week, maybe 2 weeks beyond bloom, and these shoots have become a lot more lignified, and they're ready for this shoot combing business to be done. As you can see back here, once we do finally hit the ground, it is okay to come and trim up these shoots. So I generally will trim them about a foot or so from the ground, and that way it allows good airflow, and you can still do your floor management, whether you're doing herbicide applications or if you're doing it manually with some sort of cultivator underneath your vine. You've got to have your shoots out of the way. So trimming them about a foot from the ground is what we would recommend. Like that. So we call that skirting. Skirting is a job that you do for your high cordon vines. If you're on the other end of the spectrum and you're growing your vines vertically, we're doing what we call hedging up top on those vines. So